Speaking of Marjorie Taylor Greene, folks, she got a little flack this week because she decided to headline a white supremacist convention. This is a Republican congressperson headlining a white supremacy convention, folks. Tell me racism is dead in this country. Tell me we no longer have systemic racism when congresspeople are giving speeches to white supremacy groups. So first off, I've showed you guys clips after clips after clips of Nick Fuentes proving 100% he's a white supremacist, proving who he is, what he's all about, what their movement stands for. Let's just play a couple of them just to show you. Here he is talking about how having sex with black people if you're white is degenerate.
Would you say that me having sex with my dog is the same thing as me having sex with a black man?
No. But they would both be degenerate.
Oh, degenerate, folks! Pretty much the same thing as having sex with animals. I'm not racist. And here he is talking about his new video platform he launched called Cozy TV. People say he's not a white supremacist, Dusty. Oh, really? Well, let's see what he says the platform is about.
What is Cozy TV? Like, how do you get on Cozy TV?
It's free speech, no censorship. We are anti-gay, anti-woman, anti-black, anti-Semitic.
God.
That's basically
yeah, holy
because
shit,
everything else is every other way.
So there he is, folks, just telling it straight out. They're anti-gay, anti-woman, anti-black. So why wouldn't a congressman speak at his convention? One more, folks. Let's just show you a clip. Here's another one.
We're the only ones that aren't racist. We're the only ones, ironically, and I know this is going to come across in a certain way, but the irony is people accuse us of hating black people, and we're the only ones that treat black people with like actual respect, honestly. Respect enough to tell them, hey, stop committing crimes. Stop being so illiterate in schools. And when they're cool, we're just cool with them. You know, they're just human beings to us. They're just real human beings. We stand for real human beings, truly. But we also stand for whites. Anyway, so that's sort of an aside, but it is a little bit funny. This comes from Bannon. This is Getter. Getter is run by Bannon. And Bannon is the fat retard that goes on these shows and says, we're going to have African Americans voting 50% for Republicans, and we're going to flood the zone with nigger votes. I mean, that's like, literally, he goes on these shows and says that. That one slipped out.
That one slipped out. We're the ones not racist, folks. Yeah, we consider 50% of black folks voting for Republicans the N-word vote, but we're not racist. And folks, as I told you, yesterday they had Nick Fuentes' convention of white supremacy. Here's one of the speakers he had. Explain exactly what they're all about.
If your federal, state, and local representatives are not in favor of banning vaccine mandates, banning mask mandates, instituting an immigration moratorium, halting the resettling of refugees, criminalizing LGBT curriculum and the forced celebration of homosexuality in public schools, ending all abortion, reversing Obergefell v. Hodges, rigorously limiting mail-in ballots and electronic voting, being tough on crime, relaxing gun laws, allowing the people to defend our families, our property, and our communities, and bringing an end to the anti-white indoctrination in public schools by completely dismantling the current curriculum in place and starting anew. If they do not fight for the values that they espouse, then replace them, all of them, no exceptions, and don't stop until it's people like us in charge. If we want to prevent ourselves from being swallowed by this Leviathan, we must have a deep desire to dominate without mercy. And if you refuse to dominate, then America First will dominate you.
So just straight up white supremacist fascists telling you what they're going to do. White people being replaced, we need to dominate. That's what it's all a fucking about. And then they had Judge Joe Arpaio on Guys know who that is? America's racist sheriff? Arpaio has been accused of numerous types of police misconduct, including abuse of power, misuse of funds, failure to investigate sex crimes, criminal negligence, abuse of suspects in custody, improper clearance of cases, unlawful enforcement of immigration laws, and election laws violation. A federal court monitor was appointed to oversee his office operations of complaints of racial profiling. The U.S. Department of Justice concluded that Arpaio oversaw the worst pattern of racial profiling in U.S. history. So, racist as shit, gleefully did racial profiling. Proud of it. So, of course, this white supremacist convention invited him to speak. And folks, tell me they're not white supremacist. Tell me they're not fucking fascist. Here he is, decrying the fact that he has been called a racist. And they're cheering for him for being racist. And he seems almost shocked. I don't know if he really doesn't know that he's speaking to a group of white supremacists, or he's just pretending that he doesn't know in order to give himself some plausible deniability. But he seems surprised that they giddily cheer for him because he's a racist. Watch this shit.
Now, the speaker just before me, I don't know if he's still around, but he has some good points. I have the reputation of being the biggest racist in the country. Think of that. I hate to...
Yeah, they love you. That's why they like you. That's why they invited you, dude. That's 100% why the White Supremacy Convention invited you to speak.
What are you clapping for, that I am or I'm not?
But because you are, because they're white supremacy. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm not.
You are.
And I know you guys and gals aren't either.
They are.
Do the right thing for our country. So, if I'm the biggest racist, actually I started off my law enforcement career after I left the Army. I joined the Army when the Korean War broke out and joined the Metropolitan Police Department. They're in the news every day because of the Capitol thing. I walked the black beat for 4 years. Now, they got me on racial profiling. Obama and Biden and a judge, a federal judge, to try to hang me. And he did. He did. I'm not going to get into that. So I know a little about policing. So maybe I did racial profile. At least they could,
Yay!
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Why are you cheering for me for racial profiling? It's almost like you're a bunch of fucking racists. Almost. God damn it, this country's wild. Depressing as fuck. And folks, I was doing my research about this whole thing, and I came across a clip I had to play for you.
Pranked in
It's
the
not
worst way.
particularly related, but it's from Last Week Tonight with John Oliver on his section about Judge Arpaio. And I didn't know this. This is so crazy that you have to see it, folks. Apparently, Joe Arpaio was part of a short-lived reality show, a prank show, where the prank was they set up criminals in elaborate schemes in order to arrest them live on camera. And the show was called Smile, You're Under Arrest. This is real, folks.
Oh, well, I got one more surprise. These two people are actually deputies of Sheriff Joe Arpaio's office.
Take him down. Take him down.
So, dude, you gotta smile, because you're under arrest. Oh, no, for real, Whoop, there it is.
Oh my God. What the fuck? Nuke it from orbit. I can't believe this, but I can. It's a trash country, folks. Never a low that we can't reach in this country. This is who conservatives are, folks. Giddily cheering for Russia now. They love Russia. They love Putin more than they love our own country. Here's the speech Nick Fuentes gave at his white supremacy convention. Watch them cheer for war criminals, murderers, and dictators.
A phrase from a friend of mine, our secret sauce here, it's these young white men. That's what we call this.
And look how fast the chat is going up, folks. Look how slow my chat is going up compared to this chat. That's how popular this white supremacist movement is, folks. This is what we are as a country.
Secret ingredient. America and the world has forgotten about them, but not us. You know, they say about America, they say, diversity is our strength, you know. And I look at China and I look at Russia. Can we give a round of applause for Russia? Yes. Absolutely, absolutely.
So, yeah, folks, that's what they're all about. So, of course, sitting Congressperson Marjorie Taylor Greene headlines their white supremacist convention because they have no fucking shame. Not only that, but she was introduced to Nick Fuentes by racist, sexist, pedophile apologist Milo Yiannopoulos, one of the biggest scumbags in the fucking world. Of course, that's her friend. In contact between her and this white supremacy movement.
I have a new mystery speaker tonight who I'll be announcing to you right now. Very exciting. She is a standard bearer of Trumpism in the U.S. Congress. She is pro-life. She is proudly America first. And I want to say a very special thank you to Milo Yiannopoulos for making this happen. He made this happen. He put it together. Whoops. That's Milo over there. He's throwing some stuff around. But thanks to him, we are honored, we are humbled and excited to welcome to the stage right now for our first speech, and we love to get to know her much better. I think this is going to be the beginning of something great. The representative from Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
There it is. Whoop, there it is. Marjorie Taylor Greene, hero at the White Supremacy Convention. And she has the second biggest war chest in all of Congress right now to get reelected. That's how popular she is, folks. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. They just don't give a fuck because they know there's no consequences. They know Republicans, conservatives don't give a shit. This is who you are.
Well, hello, canceled Americans.
So she goes on a tirade about how, just like her, they've all been canceled. She clearly knows who they are. She knows who Nick Fuentes is. She knows he's been banned from social media websites. She mentions it. But then they go on to ask her the next day, why did you appear at a white supremacy convention? And this is what they always do. They plead ignorance. Try to give themselves plausible deniability. Like that would be a good excuse. Like not Googling the white supremacist who you appear on stage with, who you speak at this convention before you go and speak at this convention is a good excuse. But we know that's a fucking lie. We know you know who they are. But their cowardice knows no fucking bounds. So instead of answering the question, she lies and then tries to pivot to blame Joe Biden, to blame anybody else to distract from what she's done.
I have got to get to the airport, but I'm glad to talk to you about this. I do not know Nick Fuentes. I've never heard him speak. I've never seen a video. I don't know what his views are, so I'm not aligned with anything that may be controversial. What I can tell you is I went to his event last night to address his very large following because that is it's a very young following and it's a generation I'm extremely concerned about.
It's a white nationalist group.
Excuse me a minute. I'll tell you exactly why I went. I went to talk to them about America First policies, and I talked to them about what's important for our country going forward. Now, in regards to Russia, Putin is a murderer and he should have never invaded Ukraine.
But
what he is doing is completely wrong. I stand with our NATO member allies, and I'm completely against this war.
It's a white nationalist
Excuse
group.
me, I'm going to finish. Everything that he's doing is wrong. He's killing people over and over. So I'm staunchly against it, and I'm staunchly against Vladimir Putin and his invasion of Ukraine. Another thing that is extremely important for me to say is the whole reason this is happening is because Joe Biden is a weak president. Now America is a weak country, and our entire world is falling apart, and we're seeing war erupt, which did not happen under President Trump because we had peace through strength. So this is something that we've got to really focus on, and I'm appalled at our country for putting America last this way, making us depend on China, Russia, and foreign countries for our critical supplies and our energy.
Do you endorse Nick Fuentes' views?
Excuse me, I don't know what his views are. I've never...
You were there! He fucking spoke while you were there! What are you talking about? But she knows there's no consequences. Conservatives don't give a shit. They love the fact that she's racist. They're racist too.
I do not endorse those views. The reason why I went was to talk to the audience, just like I've talked to many different audiences. I've talked to Democrat union workers earlier this week. I've talked here at CPAC. I talked to his people who were there. It wasn't an alignment. It was to talk about getting everyone together to save our country. And I think that's what's most important.
I had to get together with white supremacists to save our country. They're the good guys. Just holy shit. And here she is defending her speaking at a white supremacy convention. I am not going to play the guilt by association game. This is what they always say. It's not a guilt by association. It's guilt by actions. Your actions. Giving your name, your platform to this white supremacist group. That's guilt by action. I'm not going to play the guilt by association game in which you demand every conservative should justify anything ever said by anyone they've ever shared a room with. I'm not going to be drawn into that. I'm only responsible for what I say. Bullshit. You're responsible for where you speak, who you give attention to. They never take responsibility. Same people that continuously say, take responsibility for your actions. Lift yourself up by your bootstraps. Never do it. And here's the chairwoman of the national GOP being told straight up, hey, one of your congresswomen speaking out of white supremacy movement. You guys are still supporting her for office, giving her tons of money. Have any comments on it? And of course, I don't know anything. I'm just, what is a white, who is,
Last night, Congresswoman Taylor Greene spoke at a white nationalist conference.
I am not familiar with it, so I'm not going to give a comment.
She spoke at.
Hello? Oh, how are you?
Chairwoman, can we tell you what we're going to interview? She literally spoke at Nick Fuentes'
I just last night, I have no idea.
Can we tell you what she said?
I don't know. I'm not going to look it up. I didn't read my tweets. I have no idea. I'm just an idiot. You can't hold me accountable for anything if I'm stupid. I don't know, and I don't want to know, so who cares? Not conservatives. That's for goddamn sure. This is what you're all about, motherfuckers.